Hi guys! Over the past few months you've seen quite a few videos of Jordi and Hunter performing some tricks, and I've received quite a few comments both on YouTube as well as on Facebook when sharing the videos, asking whether we would do a video on training Hunter, so how we train specific commands so that you guys can train your dogs as well. But I'm not a dog trainer. I graduated in dog behavior, specifically in stress and aggression at university, and I have quite some experience. Of course, we've trained 3 of our dogs, but Jordi is actually the one who trains Hunter, and he's not a dog trainer either. But we would like to show you our trial and error process of teaching specific commands. So Jordi and Hunter have been working on 2 tricks in the past month or so, and I have filmed every session, like the first 7 sessions or so and a couple of result sessions. They have been working on the trick around. Jordi can send Hunter around an object, he can send him around me, running around a tree or a specific agility pole that we use to train it. And Jordi and Hunter worked on target, so Hunter can put 4 paws onto a specific object that Jordi indicates for him to stand on. So this morning they're also training, as you can see, and I thought I'd show you the result. And I have a lot of footage from the past couple of months, so I hope you'll enjoy it. It's kind of a different take on a how-to, but I thought it was a nice way to show you that even people who have dogs that can perform quite a few tricks, they go through a whole process, and sometimes the dog doesn't want to listen, or listen, just doesn't have the motivation to do what you want them to do, and that's fine. And if the training methods that you found don't work, you can adjust. So that's also what we did, what Jordi did with teaching those 2 tricks. So I hope that you'll enjoy it, and do let me know in the comments if your dogs know these tricks, and whether or not you will try to teach them this, and we'll see you again next week. The 2 tricks that we're looking at today are running around an object such as a tree or a pole, and balancing on an object whilst standing on 4 paws. Each complex trick we teach starts with a combination of a known command and some free shaping. We asked Hunter for a touch and let him figure out that we wanted a paw on the frisbee. As soon as he nailed this, we worked on duration and adding a second paw. We quickly realized, however, that the frisbee was not the perfect object. He loves frisbees so much that they excite him, and he kept grabbing them off the ground. We switched to this plastic tub, and it seemed like the increased height and surface area made it a bit easier as well. He immediately offered to put his front 2 legs on, so within this first session, we decided to hold off rewarding until he lifted a 3rd paw. It didn't take long for him to put all 4 paws on, but as expected, he sat down, because the tub isn't wide enough to stand on in a normal stance. So we used another command that is known to him: stand. We rewarded the slightest tension in his hind legs. The next day, we gave using the frisbee another shot, but this was a total no-go. To our surprise, he offered to sit on the tub immediately and managed to give us some more duration in stretching his rear legs. We were very impressed at that, in just the 2nd session. We kept all sessions short and alternated each new trick with other tricks to keep him motivated and to prevent boredom. So this 2nd session, we also started working on another trick, running around an object. We tried to send him around a tree simply by pointing, just to see what he would do, but he kept trying to perform his trick bounce. basically jumping up towards a tree and bouncing back off. I think that's because we've been working on that over the few weeks prior. So we grabbed this plastic agility pole, which allowed Jordi to move his arms around the object to lure Hunter around it. Hunter loves running, so we could soon build up distance and added a marker word, around. Since he understood this trick so well, we started adding some rules. If he starts to Jordi's right, he is to run around the object from right to left. If he starts from Jordi's left, he is to run around the object left to right. It's a great way to work on body awareness. At the end of this session, we practiced the other trick some more, and since he finally offered to put his forepaws on without sitting down, we added a marker word here as well. Target. The next day we worked on the target trick again. We reminded him that he has to stand, using the stand command every time he sat down, and eventually let him figure out that standing is what results in getting a treat. It didn't all go smooth though. For some reason on this day he tested whether lying down on the tub would get him treats as well. Though it was only the third session, Hunter managed to distinguish between his trick bounce and running around the tree. Jordi was able to send him around the tree trunk from a close distance and around the agility pole from a greater distance. Occasionally, Hunter was so excited that he would offer to run around the agility pole on his own accord. At the end of this session, they worked on running around the tree from both left and right. Whenever Hunter failed, Jordi would simply hold off on giving a treat and take a step closer to the tree, then reward as soon as Hunter got it right. It might be interesting to know that we always use more than one of the 4 quadrants when training. Giving a treat when a dog does what we want is called positive reinforcement. Not giving the treat when the dog does not perform the wanted behavior is called negative punishment. Without negative punishment, a dog would not be able to understand what we want, since it would get a treat no matter what he does. It is in no way cruel or painful, but it is clear. If we were to hear well done whenever we made mistakes, we wouldn't know wrong from right either. This is the form of balanced training we choose to use. It does not involve pain or discomfort, but we still use both sides of the scales. On the 4th day, we started working on duration and added some distance. In the next session, Jordi decided it would be fun to teach Hunter to run around other objects, such as people. It took a while for Hunter to understand, but once he got it down, he managed to do it in both directions. They also wanted to work on another trick, but the ground was wet and Jordi sat down on the tub. But when Hunter jumped on him in excitement, it broke. Whoops! The only object we could find to replace the plastic tub was a thin round cushion. It was more difficult for Hunter to recognize the edges of the object because there was no longer a height difference between the object and the ground, but he got the hang of it pretty quickly. I filmed for an entire week, but only recorded clips every week or so for a few months since then. Jordi and Hunter still incorporate these tricks into their training sessions, and Hunter knows them by heart. Here's some other clips to enjoy, in which you can see his passion and enthusiasm. Hunter loves performing tricks, especially if it involves running. That's it for today. Have a fun week with your dogs, and we will see you again on Sunday.